Hi, we are team number one, and we are going to cook today Bolognese Spaghetti. The members of our team are Roberto Wal and David Rijal.
For this recipe, we're gonna need 6 mushrooms, half an onion, 1 bell pepper, 10 tomatoes, 3 packs of spaghetti, 2 cups of tomato sauce, 1 carrot, and ground beef.
The first step for our spaghetti is washing all the ingredients that are vegetables, like carrots, tomatoes, mushrooms, and the bell pepper. All of this for getting a more delicious recipe and avoiding things like diseases or bad flavor in the vegetables. We need to wash carefully all of these vegetables because if they have a black part on it or they are dirty, the food can be dangerous for our guests.
The next step is to fill 2 pots of water, one for the spaghetti and the other for the sauce, for about 15 minutes until the water boils, and this will make the food cook faster and efficient.
While we wait all the time for the water to boil, we'll get prepared of our vegetables. The first thing to do is cutting the edges of all the vegetables. For the tomatoes, we'll cut just the edge finely for saving the most tomato as possible. Tomatoes will be left like this for then boiling them. For the carrots, we'll need to peel them a bit.
Wait, te atravesaste en medio de toda la cámara.
Y sigues grabando, pendejo. While we wait our 15 minutes for the water to boil, we will cut the edges of all the vegetables. This for saving, of course, some time. For the tomatoes, we'll only cut the edges. We'll leave the tomato like this for putting it to boil. For the carrot, we'll cut them in little circles and then cut them in lines, then in little cubes. For the onion, it will be very similar because it will be also in the sauce. Is cutting a little bit of onion and chopping it finely into little squares. If we leave our vegetables in a big chunk, the thing that will happen is that the food will cook slower and we have a greater risk for the food to burn. For the mushrooms, that they will also be in the sauce, we'll just take this little stick out of them and cut them in little slices, very fine, of course. For the bell pepper, the first thing we need to do is cut this green part of top of the pepper. It's a bit difficult. Take it out, then open the pepper by half, taking a bit of the center of the pepper. Once we make that, we cut a bit of pepper and we'll cut them firstly in slices, then in small cubes. For the pepper, you can use even a green, red, or yellow pepper. This is at your choice. This is mainly for giving a good color to the food and also a good flavor.
After 10 minutes of boiling the spaghetti, we're gonna turn off the fire and we're gonna put the spaghetti into the... pero es que eso ya lo tenemos que hacer. After waiting 10 minutes... After waiting 10 minutes for the spaghetti to boil, we're gonna turn off the fire, then we're gonna take the spaghetti and put it through the strainer for the water to come out.
We make also this for the pasta to stop boiling in this moment. If the strainer is too short or the pasta is a lot, you can wait a minute and passing the pasta to another container and then doing this process again.
Put the other 10 tomatoes into the boiling pot for 10 minutes to prepare the sauce, to start the sauce.
For the second part of the Bolognese sauce, that is adding vegetables and meat, the first thing we need to do is putting a bit of oil and letting it warm up for 1 minute. Then we add onions, carefully of course, the oil is boiling. Then we'll add all the other vegetables that we have except for mushrooms. And we're going to leave them like that until the onion has a little brownish color.
Then we put half a glass of water here. Put it in the blender. Put the 10 tomatoes. Tomatoes until they are in liquid state.
Then we add ground beef with another portion of hot oil into this cooking pan. Then when we add it, we need to make sure that the ground beef doesn't have little balls on it. Leave it completely expanded for the meat to cook correctly, for not leaving one part completely raw and another fully cooked.
For the last step, we're going to mix everything but the pasta, starting from the tomato juice. Followed by the meat, then with the onion, with carrots, and at the last we're going to put the tomato puree. The 2 cups.
And let it wait for 5 to 7 minutes.